Myself, my name is Sarah Jane Kendall. I'm a member of Alderville First Nation, and that is in the Williams Treaty Territory. But I reside in Northern Ontario, in the Robinson Huron Treaty Territory. We really work on supporting career pathways for Indigenous youth and adults. And our mandate is working in partnership with Indigenous communities to address local water challenges through education, training, and meaningful collaboration. At the top of, at the very top of this diagram, I think this is where it all begins. It's with our children and our schools water program. And this team has the ability, through our certified educators to work with students from kindergarten to grade 12, which is a really big undertaking. And the programs that we work with range from 3 to 5 days for the most part in community. And it's very, very hands-on water science workshops that are delivered that are both in the classroom and on the land, with really the goal about children learning about their watersheds and what's in their water. Our environmental water program has two arms to it right now. A lot of community-based programs has been our focus for a number of years. And these are developed in partnerships with communities who really want to take charge of their water management. And there's various trainings that they can go through. These partnerships can run from 1 week to a number of years, depending on what capacity building our partners are looking for. And then we have our drinking water program, which is a 15-month internship where our interns at the end of this, we often work with a number of communities at once in developing a network, but are certified water operators to work at their water plants. We have also launched an environmental water internship as well. We're running a pilot right now, which is pretty exciting. This just launched in this past July, and we're pretty excited to be moving this forward. And so there is a connection. I hope people see the connection between all of our programs here. Right now, I would really like to welcome Janelle Snache to our panel. Janelle graduated this past September as a drinking water operator. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Janelle, to let you know a little, so you can tell us a little bit about your community, where you're from, and what brought you into the program.
I had just finished my first year of college of the environmental technician program. And during that time in school, we kind of touched a little bit on water treatment. And of course, I was like instantly intrigued by it. It was a career I never really thought about until then. So I started asking around my community if, there was any opportunities at the water treatment plant there as a summer student. And that's when I learned about this internship. Yeah, I started my placement in Alderville First Nation, working with their water technician, where we mainly service just small point of entry systems. And that was like a great introduction to water treatment. And then I moved on to work with the community Tyendinaga, which is in Belleville, right beside Belleville, where I live right now. So it was a bit closer to home for me. And that was my first experience in a water treatment plant. And then from there, I got placed in Belleville's water treatment plant. And that was like 10 times the size of Tyendinaga. So it was all a bit overwhelming. It was a bit scary and intimidating at first, but with Water First training, they really prepared me for, the basics of not basics, but the I guess knowledge. I can't think of the word right now. Of like how these treatment systems work, and then being able to put that into like actual real life was really cool.
Water First has a focus on education and training. That's professional capacity building. These are skills that individuals can receive that they can make use of for their entire life, for the benefit of their own professional development and for the benefit of their community.
Being an Indigenous woman in science is great because I get to wake up every day knowing that what I'm doing is important. Being able to take those fundamental steps forward to make this world a better place, knowing that what I'm doing isn't just a job, it's personal between me, my community, and my culture.
They're learning skills that haven't been focused on in the community. If the person has confidence to do whatever work it is, they'll succeed at it.
You know what? The opportunities are endless for them. You know, once they obtain that certification and they walk away with that, they can work anywhere. Like, we created 8 new water advocates out of our communities, and I'm so proud of that.
You are helping to heal that water all across the land. And so as a spirit helper, like many of y'all, I say Chimigwech for helping that water heal. It is so important and such meaningful and beautiful work.
Being able to understand your source water helps you understand your process better, and even going into the wastewater side of it, being able to produce an effluent that can come back full circle at some point.
The water sciences and the traditional knowledge, and don't think one is more important than the other.
You know, as women, we are the carriers of water, and we are here to protect that. And I think being a water treatment operator is just one way of doing that. And I'm glad I've had the opportunity to.
I'd like to bring up Samantha Keysis to our panel. Samantha is the Director for Lands and Resources and Environment with Sagamok First Nation. I recently met Samantha. We were in Elliott Lake, and it was for the first skill demonstration achievement and presentations for our environmental water interns. And I heard Samantha speak very eloquently about the partnership with Water First. And her community and what it means and the impacts. And we invited Samantha to come and speak about that today. So thank you for being here today, Samantha.
Yeah, miigwech. Thank you for the invite, and happy to be here. Samantha Keysis once again. Minidogi Shikdijnikas, Skamuk Donji, also a member of Sagamuk. Yeah, thank you, and glad to be here. I guess for me, I think the biggest benefit for Sagamuk participating in this is the partnership that Water First has created with North Shore Tribal Council and bringing this program to be able to assist communities and building capacity within the community and being able to employ them in the community, especially on environment, because right now we do have a department of 5, and with the water environmental interns, you know, our goal is to be able to get them out in the field, get them trained as much as possible. We have like a lot of projects happening in the territory. The biggest would probably be the Hydro One Northeast expansion from Hanmer all the way to Garden River. So they've had the opportunity to do some training with them, and this coming field season, they'll be going out doing some field work there. They've also have their own projects, and their own projects really stem from their concerns that they have from the community or within the community or around the community. And our community is downstream on the Spanish River from Espanola. The Domtar is upstream, pulp and paper mill, and we've been historically impacted from the mill. Spills, two spills that have happened, and you know, the river was a drinking water source for the community, but also a source of food sustenance. And like Stacy and Caleb, their interest and their concern is the cumulative effects and cumulative impacts of that. And their research project is monitoring the water quality of that and on the Spanish River, but then also pretty much at the end point where the water would come into the North Channel. So right at Fort LaCloche is another site that Stacy and Caleb have deployed monitoring equipment and water quality analysis. So the skills that they're building is a real benefit to the community and being able to support the work that we do.
So I am going to introduce Kelsey Roy and Brandon Cote and hand things over them to share a little bit about themselves, their communities, their interests, and the work that they've been doing to date.
Ade, my name is Brandon Cote. I'm 26 years old and originally from Wikwemekong First Nation. And now I'm at Tikmikshing, Anishinaabeg, which is like 10, 20 minutes away from Sudbury. So, and it's also part of the Robertson-Huron Treaty. And I guess also I never really had an interest or opportunity in environmental work. So all this to me is completely new and is really awesome to have the chance to learn more about this type of work. Yeah.
I'm Kelsey. I'm also from Sudbury, a part of Tikmishing. We're in the lands office there. And my past background was I'm 23, so I graduated from environmental technician at Cambrian. Down below, there's some pictures that I added in of things that we've been doing with Water First, as long as what we've been doing at the lands office. So we had the opportunity to incubate and hatch over 320 turtles between painted and snapping turtles. So then we released those back into the community and into where we found their nesting grounds to enhance their expansion of life. It's better if we incubate them and then release them compared to leaving them be. They have animal disturbances, human disturbances, quads, ATVs tearing up the nests or the nesting grounds of the turtles. So that was really fun and exciting to do at the lands office. And it was a really great opportunity that they let us help to do that. And they were so absolutely adorable. And we also did a lot of studies on different edible plants that are around the area, as the last picture was the blackberries, which was really exciting. And we get to do so much things between the lands office and Water First. The opportunities are absolutely.
Yeah. So currently for our independent project, we chose to observe and monitor our local lakes. And also for two of them, they have been affected by an old gold mine. So we've been trying to figure out like how's the water quality and like the chemistry of the lakes, and also to compare with other bodies of water that had no, I guess, no relations to the old gold mine. So it's pretty cool to learn about that still.
Next up, we have Allan Moffatt, who is CEO for Mamawesin, which is the North Shore Tribal Council. Allan's communities have been a past partner and now are a current partner with us again. And it's really, really great that you were able to take the time. You represent a number of communities, Allan, so we know that your day is very full, but I've had the chance to speak with you and have heard firsthand how important this work is. So welcome to the panel. And I am going to open it up to you to talk a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today, and share some of your perspective on this collaborative partnership that we have come to a few times now.
Thank you. Miigwech for having me. My name's Allan Moffatt. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Mamawesin, the North Shore Tribal Council. And as I'm sitting here listening, I'm just kind of bursting with a bit of pride, listening to our interns speak, and it really solidifies to me that we're doing the right things. And because we're always looking for ways to assist our communities in a practical way. There's one thing about talking about it and raising awareness, but really, how do we help our youth get work, become employed, and assist our communities moving into the future? And And that's really kind of the story behind why I'm pushing for these types of partnerships. I deal a lot with the federal government and our friends at Indigenous Services Canada, and I've realized we can't entirely depend on the government to come up with solutions for us. We need to partner up and come up with our own practical solutions ourselves, and really position ourselves to where our youth in the future are telling the government this is what we need. And I'm really glad to see all the young people that have taken an interest in these programs. The newer program that's been discussed, the environmental internship program, and that was again a kind of a no-brainer for me, as our head office for the tribal council located in Serpent River First Nation is downstream from a lot of tailing ponds, and the legacy of the mining operations within Elliott Lake. And I remember as a child swimming in Serpent River and following the stream down to the water's edge, and it's contaminated with sulfuric acid, and you can smell it. We're living the legacy of the environmental damage that's been created within our areas. So anything that we can do to help alleviate that and train our youth to deal with those legacy issues, I'm all for it.
We are back, and I can see everyone that is here. I think I'm going to start off a question for Samantha and Allan, and it's just running right off of this video. Samantha, I'll ask you first. What does growing well mean to you in your communities?
Growing well, I think really what means to Sagamore, because we've undertaken community development. So there's a lot of visioning that's taken place at the community level, and land resource environment, the development of a department was part of that vision. And, really exercising our jurisdiction, our interests, our values out in the territory, managing and maintaining our interests, our lands on reserve, and growing well and being well is being able to provide opportunities and experiences and knowledge to our youth. And the Waterfish Partnership really does that for youth in Sagamore.
Are you comfortable to talk a little bit about what your community is facing in terms of the risk of water quality from you touched on briefly what it was that you're in your independent project. Would you be able to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so from the tailings ponds and the mine closure, I did see a question regarding like what we're really looking for. And obviously there's a lot of like heavy minerals that were used and a lot of different chemicals to also used for processing of the rock and the ore to get gold, because it was a gold mine, to extract it all. So in our project, we are mainly focusing on cyanide. Mostly is like the main hazardous substance that we're like really looking for present in the water. If it's leaching into anything, where is it going? If it is leaching, how could it affect the wildlife? How could it affect like the plants around the area? How it could affect us? We did send some water samples to the lab, which we did get back our results. They are under standards, which is really, really good. And so from there, and then our community-based project. We're monitoring like the well-visited lakes around there. We're just making sure that that is healthy overall in general to be around.
Or expand on, you did touch on it when you spoke earlier, but the mentorship that's involved within our programming. And then I'm going to ask Kelsey and Brandon if they could do the same thing, just to touch on what that feels like, what it looks like, what's involved would be really, really great to hear.
Yeah, so Water First are super supportive. My trainer was Krista, and she was a huge support for me. We had our weekly check-ins, and she was with me every step of the way, just to check in, see how things are going, if there's anything that she can do to make things run smoothly. Just always encouraging as well, and she's really helped with my confidence and bringing me out of my shell, I guess, a bit. So I'm really thankful for that, because sometimes you don't see yourself how other people see you. And yeah, she just was there to remind me, like, you got this, and you're doing great. And yeah, so that felt like really good to have her in my corner for sure.
Can you provide examples of roles that graduates could grow into after graduating?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think, well, to me, they're kind of like being trained as technicians, right? And they're getting the skills and the knowledge through Water First, but also the training opportunities that we can provide. So to me, my long range vision, I would say that would be, say, to apply to like the Guardians program, and then get them and keep them on for Sycamore, because we need them. They are filling, human resource need in the community that's really, really needed, because like I said earlier, that the human resource capacity for First Nations and environmental and natural resources and all of that is it's under capacity. And not only is it human resource capacity, but also financial, right? And Water First is, that another bridge into filling that gap. So
can you speak to the cultural, like the importance of water to your communities, and how it shapes your approach to, or how you would hope that it shapes the approach to environmental projects?
To me, culture is of utmost importance when dealing with with water. Water really is what provides life to all of us, and the respect that it receives from a cultural standpoint really needs to always be there. I've been taught since I was young, every so often make an offering of tobacco to the water, and you can almost watch the water come in and take the tobacco, as though it needs itself, that medicine to survive. And the more we incorporate the culture into our interns and learning about water, there's a lot of scientific aspects to what the program offers, but to me, it's just as important or more important to make sure we provide those cultural teachings as well.
It's the same question. We'll go with Brandon and Janelle and then Kelsey. And the question is, what would you consider your dream job to be in relation to the training that you've received with Water First?
Well, I guess if I have to really think about it, I guess just doing environmental work, like any kind of work. So let's say like working with the water, you could work with the fish, just doing surveys. I don't know. I feel like any kind of opportunity, it'll be so awesome. Like also, I like to think for, I don't know, I could say just, I forget what would they be called. I guess senior lands guardian kind of thing, or that'd be something like that along those lines. Be pretty cool. Because obviously on some communities we don't have really much. I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know, like guardians kind of thing, because like people could just come and go, like say hunting and picking, harvesting, and it can be quite a bit of a problem sometimes, as you could say. And so, especially doing this environmental work and learning all this stuff, yeah, could hopefully lead to something along those lines.
Protecting resources. I love it.
Ah, there we go. That's the word I was trying to say. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Janelle, what are your thoughts?
I guess like obviously being the water operator in my home community would be great. That's where I'd like to end up eventually. Yeah, just waiting for that opportunity to come. But also like, now that I'm in environmental technician program, I think, doing field work too would also be fun, like collecting data out in the field and like analyzing it. That would also be great. I don't know, I feel like once I'm done school, there's going to be so many opportunities as well, because I will have like all these new skills. Yeah, whether it be, I would love to continue working with First Nation communities as well, whether it's my home, maybe as like an environmental technician, or other communities, just like raising awareness about how we can, like Brandon said, protect our resources and, provide safe, clean drinking water. And yeah, just raising awareness about the environment and keeping it clean for future generations. Yeah.
So being an absolute leader, leading by example.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what are your thoughts?
I would say I would really love to also work and keep working in the community and be maybe like an educator of the water around the community, because the amount of people that come up to us like asking so many questions is like quite a lot, and there's not a lot of knowledge about the water that's in our community and what it's being used for. So somewhere under the lines of teaching the community about the water and different risks and how we could protect it. Also, we're going to go visit some schools, I think, to talk to children coming up in March or April. So I love kids so much, and I would love to honestly spend time with them and educate them on water and how important it is, if it's drinking water to lake water to groundwater, the water that we use to grow plants and everything else. So I think it would be really special in my heart to go, talk to like the future generation and get them to have a passion for, like the world and how to keep our world healthy and what to do to make it better as well.
Thank you so much. That was all so well said and so impactful. I want to thank each and every one of you, Allan and Samantha, for our partners who really support this work and help move the partnerships forward, and Kelsey and Janelle and Brandon for being the leaders of today. It's very important that we think about our future generations, but you three really are leaders of right now. So thank you so much for your hard work and hanging in there and moving through and being here to share so much with us today. And for everyone that has, stayed with us today, whether you're an individual donor, you're with a group, you're with a foundation, or you're someone who showed up today to learn more about our programming and our partnerships, we say a big shout out, a big thank you, a big chimigwech for your support. If we weren't able to answer your questions, if you could please just reach out to us, and we want to make sure all questions are answered. Reach out to us and we'll do our very best to get back to you. Take care, everyone.